Hi, this is The Greatest Story Ever Played. I'm Dan.
I'm Jordan.
And today we're talking about The Long Road Ahead, Episode 3 from Telltale's Walking Dead Season 1.
That's a mouthful.
It is.
Yep. Jumping in, Episode 3 of a 5-part game series set in the same universe as Robert Kirkman's award-winning series. As they head out of Macon, the group's progress is derailed by accusations of treachery from within.
Okay, so this episode begins and we find out it's been 3 weeks since Episode 2. And we have Kenny and Lee on a run. They're going to get some supplies, and they're heading back to the drugstore they held up in before, Lee's parents' place, to go look for supplies. You see that the area is way more desolate. Mm-hmm. It's really gone to shit in the, 3 months since they were there in Episode 1 or whatever. Because I think Episode 2 was 2 or 3 months after Episode 1.
Yeah, you're right.
And so then a couple more weeks after that. So
yeah,
it's
about
been
3 weeks. Or 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So it's been a bit, but we see it's really fucked up. There's, crashed cars everywhere. There's a helicopter that's crashed into it. And,
somehow.
Yeah. I don't know how that guy pulled it off. But
yeah.
it's fucked up. And also in this time, we talk with Kenny about the state of the group. So things like, do you think Lily's still mad at us? And you can be like, we killed her dad, dude. Or other responses. And what this ends up basically giving you again is opportunities to either be more positive with Kenny and improve your relationship, or be more negative in it. He asked about Clementine, also about us stealing last episode. Kenny steals no matter what, but that kind of thing. And I tried to basically keep it neutral and cool for the most part with him, because I like Kenny.
Yeah, I was neutral or in favor of him.
Yeah.
The whole dialogue. Because love Kenny.
Right. So then Kenny is... There's the semi that is also crashed into. The drugstore
got obliterated.
Has a magnet for vehicles, apparently. Yeah. They just all crash into it. But Kenny climbs up it. There's this ladder that's hanging off of it. But it's a little shaky, a little questionable. But Kenny makes it on top, and we try to go up, but the ladder breaks, and we can't, so we have to find a way to get up to there. We end up finding, there's an army jeep that's out there, and it's got one of those, I guess, repelling, not locks, but...
like a carabiner?
Yeah. I guess I'd say like a carabiner, like a big carabiner, and so you can use it to... attach it to the semi and then put the Jeep in neutral, and it moves it there, and then you can walk on it to get up top. So we do that, and as we're getting up, we're getting ready to get up and jump up to Kenny, and this girl starts screaming out of nowhere, and we look behind us, and there's this girl who's covered in dirt, looks like she's been working in a coal mine or something like that. Yeah,
she's dirty.
Really, really dirty.
Yeah.
And she just comes out screaming, and of course this brings out all the walkers that are in Macon.
Stupid lady.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she would have survived so long on her own to have this happen to her.
Yeah, to end it like this.
Yeah. Maybe she just became hysterical in a moment, and this is what happened? I don't know. But her screaming calls all of these walkers. We look, and us and Kenny are kind of like, oh, what do we do? Then we see her get bit in the ankle, and this ends up prompting our first decision, which is, are we going to shoot her to put her down and take her out of her misery, or are we going to let her get eaten because it will buy us some more time in the store? So for me, or I guess for both of us, actually, we chose not to shoot her. For me, this was a little bit more of a choice by mistake. I think I did want to shoot her, but I expected it to be an auto-aim thing, and it wasn't. And so I was like, oh shit, I have to aim. And so then by the time I aimed it at her, she moved. Oh gosh, yeah. I lost my chance.
Yeah.
So, which... overall, I'm probably kind of glad with the result. I wanted to do the right thing, but I didn't. And then I got the bonus time for that.
Yeah, I definitely actively chose not to shoot her. It wasn't an accident. I didn't want to waste ammo, and I wanted more time to get supplies. And she was already dead. So, it was shitty. I was like, oh. sorry I have to get eaten alive, but you're gonna die anyway, so
right.
whatever.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Alyssa on Twitter wrote in, she said this was a very hard choice. While empathy almost has to lead to ending her pain, Lee also knows that the group needs medicine and supplies. Not proud to say it didn't help her.
Harley on Twitter says, nah man, I needed the food. Wanted as much supplies as I could get, so I needed the extra time.
And then Chris on Twitter said he shot at the walkers, so I'm guessing that ended up being the same as us, since he didn't kill her. I'm guessing the time elapsed. So, inside the drugstore, though, due to the extra time we have,
lots of stuff.
Yeah, we were able to gather a lot of supplies. I think I picked up like 14 things or something like that. Like I was just shoveling stuff in. The part that was especially difficult with this is you could hear her screaming outside still. Which
They made you feel it.
Yeah, I felt much worse about not doing it. Like I wanted to have done it and I didn't, and then this made me feel more fucked up, kind of.
It wasn't a quick death for sure.
Yeah, I thought that this was good. They made you pay for your choice a bit here, like immediately. Sometimes you feel the effect of your choice at the end of the episode or something like this, but this one they're like, oh, you did that.
You got extra time? Or you're gonna know about it. You're gonna know why you got extra time.
Right. Yeah. So I thought that was well done by them. However, she does stop screaming, and walkers descend on the store, and we have to fight our way out. They break through the door. Us and Kenny fight some. There's one that was the helicopter pilot, so he's got the helmet on. We shove him through some rebar, which was cool. That kind of stuff. We end up making our way out through a hole in the side of the building, which is kind of weird. I don't know why that wasn't our entrance.
Good question.
Whatever. It's game.
Yeah.
Maybe it's on the opposite side of the semi, and that's why. But
yeah, they've had bad luck with that drugstore though. They're like 0-2.
Yeah.
There with walker attacks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, not a good scene, but we make it back. And when we get back to the motel, Lee and Kenny take these supplies to Lily, and of course they argue.
Yep.
Lily's clearly a little more unhinged here at this point. But Kenny was pretty instigating as well, I'd say.
He usually is.
Which he is, but he was just like, oh, you didn't even say thanks, or like, oh yeah, we almost got killed for this, or like that kind of thing. And it's like,
just drop it, dude.
Yeah, like you don't need to say that. We all know that. Like,
yeah, like Kenny, you're my boy, but you're gonna be an ass. Even though Lily's, she's not the worst. Like, I feel like I have more empathy for her last episode.
Yeah.
But she's definitely kind of going crazy here for sure.
Yeah, you definitely see that she's losing it, and even that she's, understandably, not over her dad being killed, and calls us murderers and stuff like that. Which,
fair.
I understand it.
Yeah, he was already dead though, probably.
Yeah, I get where she's coming from, but and even Kenny was mentioning this before. Is there's this sense that can this group really be together anymore? With all the shit we've gone through. I don't know. Fair question.
Yep.
But as the arguing is done, Lily basically says, "Okay, leave." Also, someone's been stealing our stuff, so we have all these problems, and someone's a thief, kind of thing. So at this point, we're given time to kind of go and talk to the rest of the group, and what did you think about the interaction? Blah blah blah. In this, a big piece that happens is we talk to Carly, and she encourages us to talk to other people about our past. Basically saying, Lily probably thinks she has that as leverage over you. However, if you go and tell other people about this, you'll be able to get in front of it. You'll be, the master of your past, sort of thing. And it won't be held against you, probably, or it may not, because you're in front of it and you're forward.
Which is pretty wise.
Yeah, I'd say this is really good advice. And so here I go, and I told Clementine and I told Kenny. And they were both pretty understanding for me.
Yep, same.
Did you tell anyone else? Or
no, they seem like the most important ones.
That was my thought too. Is I was like, Clementine, you're who I most care about, and then Kenny, if you're down, then your family would presumably be down too.
Yeah, which is like most of the people. And we saved Ben's life.
Right.
So, like, we've saved... And Carly is cool, so it's like, who else?
Right. I was kind of like, I don't know if I need to have this one-on-one with Katja, because I think Kenny...
Yeah.
I think she seems pretty comfortable following Kenny's lead so far in this season, so I was like, I think that's okay. And then Ben, it's kind of like, if you want to side with Lily, that's fine, but it seems like he's kind of scared of her anyway.
Yeah,
so
it'd
like,
be just them two, basically.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't think there'd be that big of a problem. So they're both understanding. That was good. I was glad Clementine was good. I was a little worried about that. I was like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, if she doesn't understand.
Yeah, or if she's like mad or hurt or something like that. So I was glad she especially understood. And I wasn't quite sure how Kenny would either. I was like, he might like be like, oh, that's bad. But
yeah, he's a wild card, man.
Yeah, I
Even
wonder
though
if
he did just maybe murder someone too. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of... Yeah, I feel like he could be principled in weird ways.
Yeah.
And in other ways not principled. Like, killing Larry. I mean, he was already probably dead, which I did it, was a good idea, whatever. But it seems like it'd be weird if then he was like, oh, you murdered someone? What? Like,
yeah, I think I wonder if he would, if like you were a person who played and had a bad relationship with Kenny, if he would be mad.
that would make more sense.
I guess. Or if you don't tell him and he finds out later or something. Like if he's like, you're an asshole and a murderer or something. Like I could see him reacting that way.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. Obviously we've never played in a way that we don't like Kenny, so
Yeah, never.
I don't know what this game would be like if you hated Kenny. I feel
It'd be
like
interesting to play that way.
I feel like it'd be pretty different. I don't know if I could. Like a couple of times I've watched clips of people playing that way. I'm like, I don't know if I could like argue with someone all the time.
Yeah. It's too much.
Right. Yeah. So after this, we go to Lily, and we say, okay, earlier you mentioned someone. This was another Carly suggestion. Carly's good. I like her.
She's very good mediator, like neutral, doesn't favor anyone necessarily.
Yeah, and she's even like pushed us to try to lead a few times in the past couple episodes, where she's like, I think you're the leader we actually need. Like you aren't unhinged or too aggressive or whatever. The faults of Lily. Yeah, the faults of Lily and Kenny that make them tough to be good leaders, because they end up kind of treating other people poorly, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And she's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, she's good. I like her. But she suggests we go talk to Lily about who's stealing, because that will probably help her feel like you're on her side and like get things going like that. And I thought that was good advice. We do that, and she shows us this broken flashlight, and that we are not people who throw stuff away. We repair things. We wouldn't try to hide something like this. So it seems like someone was using it when they shouldn't have been, and then they broke it, so they tried to hide it. So we're like, all right, that sounds good. Duck overhears this conversation. This was probably the best Duck moment in any of the episodes, I thought. He overhears this, and he's like, I want to be your ward, Dick Grayson. And you have this conversation, you're like, do you know who that is? And you're like, yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
You're Robin, fine. Like, and it's kind of funny, because I like was nice to him, but kind of give him a shit kind of way. And it was good. I really liked this.
Duck's really stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is probably, I feel like most of the time I think Duck annoys me. But this time was like, all right, fine. You're kind of endearing, funny.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and I was like, okay, I like this, because other times he's okay, but this was good. And so you agree with him, and you track down various clues together.
He's not very useful.
No, he's not too. I think he pointed out some chalk to me, maybe, or something.
Yeah,
he did one thing for me, I think, where he like showed me a thing that led me to a clue. But
I can't remember. What
it ends up being is that there's like an X on the wall, and then we see that someone had went outside of our barriers, which are like dumpsters we moved in front, and that there's this care package of medicine that is outside the motel in like a grate in the wall. So we get out there and we take it, and we're like, all right, Lily, we head back to Lily to let her know, okay, you were right about a thief, like I found it. Oh, and Lily also knew about a thief because she had a record that was public, but she said it was getting changed because she also kept her own personal record. And so seeing her personal record not match this one, she could see someone was changing it and trying to cover their tracks.
Very smart.
Yeah. Really smart by Lily.
Mm-hmm.
And decent idea by the thief, even.
Not smart enough.
Yeah, not smart enough, though. So we take it to Lily, and Lily, of course, is fired up and is like, all right, we got to line everyone up. We got to figure out who the thief is, like, make him confess. Like, she's, like, adamant about getting the person who wronged them. And at this point, though, we look outside, and we see that there's a bunch of bandits. And they've captured our group.
Classic.
Yeah. They've got them all, like, on their knees, kind of thing like that. So Lily sneaks out the window and is going to go upstairs with her sniper rifle. And she tells us, hey, keep them talking. I'll handle this. And we're like, all right.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy, though. So.
Yeah, definitely wild. So we walk up and we're like, hey, we could make a deal. I could give you your stuff back. And the leader at first is kind of not having it, whatever. Then he, like, thinks about it a little bit when we try to offer more. And then, bam, shot in the head.
Yep. Dead.
Yeah, Lily shoots him. A shootout with bandits ensues where all of our guys kind of run back. Lily, right after she kills the leader, shoots another dude, which was sick. Like, shot the second guy before they even, like, could figure out what to do. A third guy runs away. You get a chance to shoot at him, but I didn't get him.
I did not either.
Yeah. But the third guy gets away, but then, like, I don't know, 10 more guys show up.
Yep, out of the woods.
Yep. And they're all on kind of at the wall, and they're just shooting in at us. We've got the shootout with bandits. On one side of us, we've got Ben and Carly, I think, pinned down. And Kenny gives us a gun and is like, hey, let's get them free. I'm going to get the RV going. And so you shoot a couple of bandits, and then Carly and Ben make it inside the RV. Then you go the other way, and Katja and Duck are pinned down. And maybe Clem? I forget where Clementine is in this.
I think Clem's with them.
Yeah, I think Clem's with them, too. Or maybe she was with Carly and Ben. I forget. I don't remember. I think Clem was in one of those two groups,
like she was with Duck and Katja.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah, she's somewhere.
Yeah, she's with one of the two groups, though. They're also pinned down. We also shoot more of them. But in this one, walkers have started to come in, also attracted by the gunfire.
Lots of gunfire.
Yeah. There's a walker that falls on Kenny, or not Kenny, Duck and Katja. But we shoot it, and, you know, so they're covered in blood, but they make it out. We jump into the RV. Kenny gets it going. Kenny starts it. Lily, like, jumps down, makes it in, and we all escape. I think all or most of the bandits were killed at this point, but it was flooded with walkers.
Oh, yeah, and it was... The motel was gone, for sure.
Yeah, we weren't going to be there anymore.
Yeah, not unless you killed 40 walkers or something like that. Right. Which wasn't going to happen.
Right, yeah, not happening. So we make it in the RV. Lily's pissed off and thinks that Carly or Ben betrayed us, that you were the one who was stealing stuff, you're the reason that the bandits came and attacked us, like, I'm done with you, kind of thing. She wants to be like judge, jury, executioner, like, we're having a trial today, right this minute.
At this point, there's not many proof, right? It's just like...
No. It's just, she's just decided it was them. I think she... At some point, either in this or maybe at the hotel even, she was like, I don't think it's Kenny. He's an asshole, but I don't think he steals.
Yeah, he's principled, for sure. And it wouldn't be Katja or Duck or Clementine or Lee.
Right, so I think that because of that, she was like, it's one of you two.
Which I guess kind of makes sense, but still.
Yeah, she was still pretty aggressive towards it. So Kenny, while they're driving, runs into a walker, and we've got to stop on the side of the road because the walker's, like... under the tire iron, or not the tire iron, but the bar under the RV.
Yeah, it's like stuck.
Yeah, stuck. So he has to pull it out. So on the side of the road, Lily's like, okay, we're stopped. Guess what? That means we get to have our trial right now.
Just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's like, just wants to do this. And she's going hard after Ben, pretty aggressively. She's like, it was you. You're going to have to leave. You got to go. And Ben's like, please, just let me stay. Like, he's not really, he's just freaking out, but he's not really saying anything.
Yeah.
And Carly's pretty active in defending him. She's basically like, you can't bully into someone being the person. Like, we should get away from this and calm down so we can make a good decision, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of this big back and forth going. Lily's like, we got to vote right now. Kenny, what's your vote? Your vote's for you, Katya, and Duck. What's your vote? And Kenny's like, I'm kind of dealing with this. like
no one's into this as Lily.
No one's into it. And, we can try to, de-escalate it, which I feel like I tried to be things like, let's wait till later. I tried not to be, anti-Lily so much that, she would, I don't know, think it's me or something like that, or, or whatever. I guess I'm trying to allow her to be heard or understood as our, de facto leader or something like that. So I wasn't trying to go against her, but I wasn't going to go against Carly either because I think Carly's right.
Yeah, Carly seems like the most reasonable person.
Yeah.
In the group. Generally.
I agree. Also in this time, Lily... No, this start doesn't happen yet. This happens, and so then Kenny's like, all right, I got it out. I think I'm going to get it started. And we all, turn to look at Kenny. And while we're turned around, bang! Mm-hmm. Carly gets shot in the back of the head. It goes down. Mm-hmm. Lily standing there, I think seemingly surprised that she did it, even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looked pretty in shock.
Yeah, and she looks pretty shocked. At this point, she's like... our decision comes up in this too as what to do, but at this point too she's like, it was her, I didn't mean to. Lee was a murderer. She's trying to anything she can. Mm-hmm. And because we talked earlier, Kenny's like, I already know about Lee, that's different now. That was then, this affects the group.
You just murdered someone.
Yeah, you just murdered someone. Mm-hmm.
Yep, so at this point you have two choices. You can let Lily back into the RV, or you can abandon her on the side of the road. And surprisingly, 55% of people let her back into the RV, which I'm kind of surprised it's that high.
Me too.
And 45% did not let her back in, which both of us did that. And for me, it was just, you can't just shoot someone because you're pissed or think they did something wrong. What happens if you think Clementine did something wrong? You're going to kick her out of the group or murder her? It just was your reaction is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So it just seemed, she seemed just crazy too.
Yeah, I thought so too. I think that was you shot someone while their back was turned. It was cowardly too.
Yeah, and with no proof.
Right. It was
nuts.
It was nuts. I'm thinking that, so with the Doug version of this, so we both let Doug get eaten instead of Carly. Mm-hmm. But in our playthrough 5 years ago or whatever, and if anyone else who does the Doug playthrough, what happens here instead is Lily's going to shoot Ben, and Doug tries to pull Ben out of the way and gets shot instead. Mm-hmm. Which that did feel sort of more like an accident because she did mean to kill someone, but she killed the wrong person.
Yeah.
I wonder if that influenced it for those people.
That could be true. But still, I don't know, man.
I think when we played back then, we kicked her out then too.
Yeah, we did.
Which, I don't think there's a scenario this would be, but maybe that one you could feel somewhat more able to. I don't know. To not kick her out because you're well, you didn't. She still meant to kill someone. She just killed the wrong person.
Yeah, or I guess if you played siding with Lily most of the time, maybe you'd let her back in. Yeah. If you really thought Carly was a thief, or maybe agreed with her.
Yeah, I guess maybe the people who go the Lily routes and they're not Team Kenny.
Yeah, maybe you have to let her back in.
Yeah.
What? Did she stay the whole... No, I think she's... Well...
We'll get there.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll get what comes next for her if she stays. But Nora's, we leave her, of course.
Side of the road.
Yeah, we say, see ya. And, also, this was something... This is... I thought of this earlier, but I thought it was more fitting to bring it up here, is I think the reason in the past that I never realized that Lee definitely killed someone was, so Carly instigates this conversation, but Doug doesn't do that. Doug doesn't have the same kind of conversation with us if he's alive instead. He doesn't say hey, you should tell people about your past or anything like that. Which I don't know, what happened in this scenario. If
I think I vaguely remember Kenny's I don't care, Lee's good people, something like that.
Yeah, so maybe because when we got it, maybe he finds out then, but we had a good relationship with him, so it didn't matter.
Yeah,
But
I wonder what happened if you didn't.
yeah, I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking, because just being so unsure until playing this time, I'm like, oh, it's very obvious that Lee did murder people, murder his wife and the senator. But back then I didn't realize it. But we didn't have this conversation with Doug, because I was like, I don't remember choosing to reveal this to anyone. Like, I feel like it would come up, but I'm like, I'm not talking about that. Like,
Yeah, there's no reason to.
right, so... I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I feel like Kenny just kind of was like, whatever. In our playthrough, at least, the first time.
Right. I feel like if he's good with you, he's good with you.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter what you did a year or 2 years ago.
Right. So we got a couple comments from people. GameTale5 says, yep, kicked Lily out. Bye, bitch.
Yep. Christopher on Twitter says, sure did. Glad that's the last we'll ever see of her.
Chris on Twitter said, I kept her with us.
Skirps on Twitter said, I didn't. So they didn't abandon Lily.
Yeah. Lesh on Twitter said, yep, I abandoned Lily.
Manic on Twitter says, yes.
Tom on Twitter said, I kicked her out in my first run through because I kind of fell hard for Carly. Yeah, fair.
That's good, yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
Harley on Twitter says, yeah, she freaking shot down Carly in cold blood. She could have hurt Clementine, Kenny, and others too. Rather not have a psycho bitch with an itchy trigger finger riding with us. Yep, that's basically sums up my decision right there.
Yeah, I feel like all in all, it's like, no, we can't have her around. Which was good. So the van drives off, and you see Lily on the road, and Walker's approach, and then she just runs into the woods. So it's like, all right, see ya.
Yep, good luck.
Yeah, pretty crazy. After this, we get in the RV, and we're driving for a little while, and Katya calls up to the front of the RV, where Kenny's driving, and she's sitting shotgun with Duck. And she shows us that Duck has a bite on his side.
That's fucked.
We're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And she asked us if we can tell Clementine about it. And we're like, okay. Like,
it sucks.
Yeah, and understandably, obviously, Katya and Kenny are not doing well. They're saddened by this. So we go and we sit down with Clementine, and we tell her about Duck.
And the sad music starts playing.
Yeah.
God.
This is pretty sad. We're like, yeah, he got bit, and she's just like sad and stuff. And then we talk to her about Carly also. It's all pretty rough. This is like a pretty sad conversation with her. It's just like, man, you're having to understand this world, like,
and you're like 6 or 8, I forget.
Yeah, you're this little girl, and you're stuck having to deal with these crazy things. Yeah, whoa, it was rough.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest, most emotional moments of probably any Walking Dead game.
Yeah,
not the most, but one of them.
Yeah, no, definitely. This was one I'd forgotten too. Like,
yeah.
So when it happened, I was like, I feel bad. Like,
yeah, I forgot Duck got bitten.
Yeah, it was like all the sadness came in. I was like, ooh,
yeah,
rough.
It doesn't get much easier.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. It does not. Also, after we have this conversation, we're just sitting on the bench with Clem, and we fall asleep. But there's this dream where Clementine's a walker and starts biting us, which was
pretty scary.
Yeah, it was scary. And like, oh no, not Clement's a walker. I don't want to see that.
Never again.
Yeah. Oh. After driving a while longer, there's a roadblock we face because there's a train that's blocking the road. So there's a stop train that just blocks our intersection, and it's a long train, so we can't like just go around it. It's just in the way.
Yep.
So we get out of the RV, and Lee is looking around the train. He ends up discovering that it could be started. You do a lot of like clue finding essentially in this one.
Yeah.
So there's a piece of paper that you are able to like decipher the button positions that need to be in, and you find out that there's like a rail spike thing that's connecting it to too much of the train that we can't pull, so we have to like undo that. It's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, in my opinion.
Yeah, a little bit annoying. I think it's like the I don't know, Telltale actions that you do need to do in games to make them a little, like, do more, but
Yeah.
some of it feels a little annoying at
Yeah,
times.
and I guess it's a good break, too, between the
Yeah, the big...
emotional fuck. Like,
Right, the big story points that happen,
Yeah.
like, it makes sense to have to do it, and it's fine if it goes easy, but when they're frustrating, it's annoying, for sure. You're like, God damn it, I grabbed the wrong wrench, or I grabbed this other one, or something like
Yeah.
that. But, anyway, we do that. We also end up meeting this homeless guy whose name is Chuck.
he's awesome.
Yeah, he's cool. He has evidently been riding the rails for a long time. So we stumbled upon him while we were going around, and he ends up joining our group. He seems like a pretty friendly guy who's seemingly adjusted okay to zombies in the world.
Yeah, well, he didn't really... Because his thing is he didn't really have any friends or family anyway already, so, like,
Right.
he just keeps traveling around like he was doing before. Now there's
Right.
just, zombies that try to eat him, but it's not that much different.
Right, yeah. It's yeah, that's something. Oh, also, what happens in this part is if we did let Lily come with us, then I think it's after we go to get the pencil to be able to do the paper. So Lily, if we let her come in, we don't tie her up, but we duct tape her to a pole or something in the RV. So it's you can come, but you're sort of a prisoner, but not quite.
Yeah.
But in that, we end up having another conversation with her. And if we're nice to her, if we've been good to her, she essentially tricks us into getting out of the RV and then drives away with it because she doesn't want to hurt us. But if we don't have a good relationship with her, I think she kicks us out of the RV and then drives away with it. So either way, she steals the RV. So
Good thing we got rid of her.
yeah, I'm glad to have abandoned her. But yeah, so she steals your RV anyway, and it's I'm not in this group anymore. See ya.
Yeah. All right, bitch.
Yeah. So yeah, she sucks. After this, though, we are so we do all the stuff. We meet Chuck, and then we're able to start the train up, and we're gonna head to the coast because the train goes through Savannah, I think is the city we want to go to, which is where Clementine's parents have been too. So cool, we're gonna go there because then from there we'll have a quick access to getting to the coast, to getting to a boat, and all that. As we're going on the train, Katja calls us over, and she tells us that Duck is doing very badly, and we see him, and he's fucked up.
Yeah, he's on the brink of being dead.
Yeah, he's pale. He's coughing up blood. We wipe blood off his mouth. It's gross, and he's not doing well. It's bad. And she's I think it's getting close. Go get Kenny. So we head up to the front of the train, and Kenny is man on a mission mode. I'm ignoring everything. I've got to get this train to the coast because that's where help will be. That's where we're going to be able to survive. Whatever. Just focused with that one thing in mind. So our next decision is how do we get him to stop the train because he needs to be with Katja and Duck now. And your two options are you can fight him, which 55% of people did, or try to talk him down, which 45% of people did, including both of us.
Yeah. That's interesting, the ratio, 55. And in the last decision with Lily, it's 55. So maybe if you sided with Lily more, you let her back in the RV and you also would fight Kenny.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So I wonder. But yeah, so I guess my thought was I like Kenny.
Right.
It makes sense. He's being annoying and kind of crazy. He has to stop the train and go be with his son and wife. But he's in a weird spot. I get it. So
right.
I'm gonna try to talk to you unless if it comes to fighting, I'll do it. But I'd rather exhaust the options first.
Same. That was my thought. Is if I can speak to you in a way that you can, be able to do this. I would want to. I want to be your friend, and I don't want to have to fight you to knock sense into you, kind of thing like that. And I was glad that could work. I feel I don't 100% remember. But I feel in our first playthrough, all those years ago, I think we did fight him because we weren't good at talking him down. We didn't know how to engage with him this way. But in here, you can say one of the things that was in there that was good. It was getting at the thing that was driving Kenny was it wasn't your fault Sean Green died in episode 1. that it was just bad shit that happened. That wasn't your fault. You were trying to save Duck. It wasn't like you were, that kind of thing. Because I think he seems to feel like fate or the universe or something is basically like, you didn't save someone else's son, so I'm taking yours.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he feels. And you're like, that's bullshit, man. Like, it was bad stuff that happened. And it seems like that kind of breaks it through to him, that he's like, oh, okay. Like, it's like confronting his fear or concern or whatever. And that was good. I'm glad we could do that. Like, I don't know.
Helpful for him.
Yeah. Glad I didn't have to punch him to
Yeah,
get him to do the right thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it was good that we could talk him there. So that was good. I was glad about that. Chris on Twitter said that he fought Kenny. So, yeah, sometimes you gotta go the blows.
Sometimes, yep.
Yeah. So, after this, Katja and Kenny are talking about what to do with Duck. Who should shoot him or that kind of thing.
So fucked up.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. I agree with it, but that would just suck so much.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine having to be in that conversation. So, I volunteered to do it.
I did too.
Here, because it was like, because you could say Kenny should do it, or you should say Katja should do it, or like just stay out of it. But I was like, I got this, guys. Like, no one should have to do this, but like, neither of you should have to. And Kenny and Katja are really thankful here, because in their conversation, Katja is trying to say basically, I'll do it, Kenny, you can't, because like a father shouldn't have to shoot his son, sort of thing, which it makes sense.
Yep.
But so we volunteer. So Kenny and Katja are taking Duck into the woods. They're gonna like say their goodbyes, and then they'll call us over, and we'll finish it. So in this time, we get to talk to Clementine about it.
Yeah, sucks too.
Which again, yeah. And
God.
we're like, Clem's like, what's going on? And we're like, we're gonna help Duck out, kind of thing. Like, so you could say it like harsher or lie. So I did like the we'll take care of Duck. So telling the truth, but not in like I'm gonna shoot Duck.
The kind of neutral, like, you know what's gonna happen here, but
I'm not saying
graphically telling you.
Yeah, I'm not being crass about it or whatever. So we're talking to Clem. We finish that, and then we hear a gunshot from the woods, and we're like, oh fuck, did they decide to do it themselves? And we get out there, and we see that Katja has killed herself, and Kenny's on the ground like freaking out, like, oh fuck, like what? Why did that happen? And you're just like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, so shitty.
Yeah, holy fuck. What I was like bracing, you're like bracing to like, okay, I'm gonna have to kill Duck.
Yeah.
Then this fucking happens.
It's so nuts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, Kenny is not there mentally, which makes perfect sense. So you can shoot Duck, or you cannot shoot Duck. So it looks like 82% of people shot Duck, took care of him so he didn't turn, whatever. And 18% didn't shoot him. So, I mean, what was your thought here with shooting him?
I think part of it just that I volunteered to do it anyway before, so I'm gonna like do what I should. But also like Kenny's even more of a wreck. Like he was bad 5 minutes ago. Jesus Christ, like this poor dude.
Yeah, his whole family's gone
in 5 minutes. Like that's horrible.
Yeah, and that was my thought too. And then also I didn't want him to turn, like have Duck turn or something if Kenny couldn't do it or wouldn't do it.
Right.
It's like let's just.
And Duck's like looking extra
he was,
bad.
Dead.
It seemed like he could turn in a
5
few
seconds.
minutes.
He looked basically dead.
Yeah, he looked very there. So I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, not interested.
Yeah. God, it's such a shitty like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I guess in this one, you can choose. So you can choose to shoot Duck. But I guess what you can do, too, is when you choose to shoot Duck, you could not do it. Because you have to, like, pull the trigger at that point. So you could let him turn, I guess.
Oh.
Which I don't know who does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An evil person.
Yeah. But then also, if you have Kenny do it, if he... I assume this has to do with the kind of relationship you have with him. I think if you have him do it, he can do it and he'll shoot him, but there's another one where he tries to do it and he can't, and then you both just leave. duck there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which is fucked. Like, so I'm glad I shot him, and there's no lingering duck. Like, I feel like that would make me feel bad forever.
Yep.
And probably Kenny forever. Like,
if you saw him again someday, like, oh god.
Yeah, right. Or for Kenny, just that, like, you couldn't do it then, but like next episode or something like that. Like, fuck, I wish I'd done that. Mm-hmm. Or whatever. So it felt like doing it is like being a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seemed like the best option.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see myself leaving there without Duck being dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess dead before he was a walker.
Right. Yeah.
So he would have been dead regardless.
Yeah, I feel like my like general Walking Dead stance is like making someone become a walker is the most evil.
Yeah, unless they're really evil.
Yeah.
Probably don't do it.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like there's, excluding being cruel, I don't know that there's any benefits to someone being a walker. I know in like some Walking Dead universe things, they're kind of viewed as like, oh, it's not bad, you're like free or something like that by being a walker, but like, I don't buy that shit.
No, you're a zombie.
You're a zombie.
Sorry.
It's bad. Like, I just don't think there's any benefit. It seems like it's only being cruel. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I guess if there are people who are walkers, you could like, I don't know, use them or whatever, like as deterrents or something like that. But like, I don't know. They were people. I kind of feel like anyone that's a walker, you should always kill them before they're a walker. But then any walker you see, you should kill because I don't know. They still are sort of a person. I don't think that it's sort of. I don't think they're like in there. I don't think they're like soul or mind or something is in there. But like they're sort of trapped in there still. Like they're presumably killing people that they wouldn't want to be.
Yeah, and pragmatically too. If you don't kill them now, you're gonna have to kill them later, or they're gonna kill you.
Right. As long as walkers are around, society's not safe for people or whatever. So
get rid of them.
Yeah. So I don't think I could ever do it. I mean, I think it would have to be pretty cruel. Although I am thinking right now, I think I killed him.
Oh yeah.
We killed him in season 4, right? There was a guy who we could have let turn. Okay,
yep.
Good. I was thinking for a second. I was like, did I? Am I lying right now?
No, Yeah,
I think we both did.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
Times change.
Yeah. We still put him down, which is good. We're the same. But Blaze Knight on Twitter though wrote in and said Lee shot Duck. Couldn't make his parents do it. That would be far too cruel a fate.
And oppositely, Chris on Twitter says Kenny shot Duck.
Yeah.
Man. I guess I'd like to hear people's rationale on that too.
Yeah. No,
It'd
Chris.
be interesting.
Yeah, Chris or anyone else who had Kenny do it. I'd love to hear additional thoughts on that. I wonder if there's a thing of like if you think it's good for Kenny, or maybe there's something about that, like Kenny taking quote unquote responsibility. If there's something like that, I don't know.
Or if maybe Kenny would regret not helping Duck. I don't know. At the end, like he was he was too scared or too sad to do it or something.
No, yeah, that's true.
But I can also see the flip side. He shot his son, so he'd have to live with that too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'd love to hear the rationale.
Yeah, seriously. Cool. Yep.
After this, Lee goes and sits with Clementine. The train's moving again. And she tells us that Chuck told her that she was going to end up like Duck. Which sends us straight into what the fuck. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, I'm going to beat that dude's ass. Like,
what the fuck, Chuck? I thought you were cool.
Right. Yeah. That was my immediate thought. I was like, I'm going to throw you off this train. Like, don't talk to Clementine that way. No one does that.
Yeah, kill you.
Yeah. That's how I felt. So Lee goes and confronts Chuck.
Yep.
And Chuck has some wisdom, actually. He says that this world is harsh, and to survive, that Clementine is going to need to adapt to this new world, that she's going to need to learn how to use a gun, that she should cut her hair short, because if it's long, she's easy to grab, and that Chuck doesn't want to see anyone else die. I've seen too many kids, other people die, I don't want to see that anymore, so if we can teach them to be able to survive in this new world, that will be far better for them. Like, if she's just able to be afraid and run, that's not going to be helpful. And we're kind of like, yeah,
all right, makes sense.
I think you're right. Like,
yeah.
I don't love your delivery necessarily, but I think you do have the right idea.
Yeah.
So we go and we cut Clementine's hair. This is funny. She's worried that we'll make her look like a boy.
Yeah.
And be bad at cutting hair.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Yeah.
and we teach her how to shoot. In this, it's like you kind of direct her, like, oh, aim a little more up, or a little more down, or a little more left, or a little right. And she shoots some bottles. She ends up doing a good job and feels some confidence that gun is just a tool. It's not something to be afraid of in itself. You should always be careful, but, you'll be able to do this and handle it. Good first lesson. I would say Clementine seems a little more comfortable, isn't as afraid, and kind of sees why she should learn how to use a gun or why she should have her hair cut. Like, she's pretty willing to adapt, which is cool.
Like she's grown up a little bit.
Yeah, that she doesn't need, like, she needs convinced, but it's not in the sense of like, no, I won't do it, and we have to work really hard. Instead, we're like, so you gotta have your hair cut. Sorry, like, we don't want this to happen. And she's like, that makes sense. I don't like it, but that makes sense, which is cool. Like, I really like this Lee Clementine relationship. That Lee can approach it, I think, like, tough things sensitively enough that she can handle it, but that she respects and responds to Lee well, which is cool. Like, it's good stuff. We also make a plan. That was another thing that Chuck said, is that you can't just do things and not have plans. Like, if you don't have plans, you'll just die. And we're like, yeah, you're probably right. Good point.
Wise Chuck.
Yeah, wise Chuck. Yeah. And so we make a plan to go to the Marsh house to find Clementine's parents, because that's where they always stay when they go to Savannah. So they'll probably be there, or maybe we'll have a chance at finding them. And so we're like, all right, cool.
They're probably dead, but...
Yeah, they're probably... Yeah, it seems like because of the phone messages...
Yeah.
Dad's... Since it sounded like he got bit by someone...
Dad's dead, for sure.
Dad's got to be dead. Mom might be around.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, if all goes. But, of course, we don't tell Clement... Because you can say they're dead. But,
just no way.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would want to watch a clip of that. It seems so mean. I guess Clementine probably doesn't believe you.
Yeah.
But...
It'd just be really mean to say.
Yeah, ugh.
Yep, nope.
Yeah, not good. While we're walking around the chain, Ben reveals to us that he was the one who was trading supplies to the bandits. And he's just, like, very, very guilt-ridden about it. He tells us that they told him that they had his friend, and that, if we gave him stuff, they'd give him back. So Ben believes them for a while, and then he realizes, I'm not going to give my friend back. They don't even have him. And...
Stupid Ben.
Yeah, he's like super guilty and wants to atone, essentially. Like, and he even has these things where it's like, should I tell other people? And you can tell him to, like, keep that shit to yourself, things like that. I didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna, like, urge him to keep quiet, because I didn't think that would be quite beneficial. But I don't want him to do it either.
Yep.
But your options were pretty, like, they weren't great. For this, so I just didn't engage him too much, because
I was pissed too. Like, dude, fuck you. You got Carly killed.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, because Lily was crazy, but
right.
Still, you fucked up.
Yeah, you hurt our group. For sure. The train, though, after a while, has to stop because there's a gas tanker that's hanging off of a bridge across the tracks. So we get out to try to figure out what to do. And there are two people on top of the bridge who yell down to our group, and they're like, hey, are you good people? And we're like, oh, we're good people. Like, it's sort of silly. Omid's kind of naive.
Like, sure, definitely.
Yeah. Omid is super interested in joining a group. So it's a guy and a girl, Krista and Omid. Omid is pretty outgoing, friendly guy who I think wants to be in a group and just is like, this is better. If you're good people, we want it. Like, we're in. Krista is a little more skeptical. I think she sees the benefits of a group, but is wary of people. I'm guessing that maybe they've had bad experiences with people in the last couple months, which
fair.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
she's a little more wary, but we agree to, okay, we'll get to know each other a little bit, and they'll help us move the tanker off, and then we can decide if we want to continue to Savannah together or not, if we're feeling it. So we go and investigate a store with Clementine that's off the railroad tracks a little bit. It almost looks like a general store on the railroad tracks kind of thing.
Old school general store thing.
Yeah, so we go there to see if we can find anything that could help us with getting the trailer off, because it's stuck. We can't, like, unhook it or anything because how it's bent and stuff like that. So we go in there. We're with Clementine. We end up fighting a couple zombies. This was pretty good scares, I'd say.
Don't we send her into the, like...
Yes.
There's, like, this window that... Or, like, I forget what it is exactly, but...
It's like
we
there's
can't
like
fit through something.
Yeah, because there's, like, bars on one side where all the stuff is, and then there's kind of the front part of the store.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the front part of the store, and we kill 2 walkers with Clementine there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we boost Clementine up over because she'll unlock it to let us in to get inside.
Mm-hmm.
But while she's on the other side, a walker
Mm-hmm.
comes in from there, and Clementine is scared, and we have to, like, defend her from outside.
Yeah, which is terrifying.
Yeah, which is scary. Or no. I have that order wrong. We boost Clementine because no one's in there. A walker comes from inside.
And it attacks Clementine, right?
It goes for Clementine, but we fight it.
Mm-hmm.
We manage to fight it. But we're still separated. But while we're fighting it, then 2 walkers come in on our side from behind us, behind the door.
Yeah, and this affected my... No spoilers here, but, like, in like, future games, or I think there's other scenarios like this where you have to... There's, like, little small spaces. You're like, do you want to send someone in there or not? I'm like, nope. Don't want to.
Right.
After this.
Yeah, not at all.
Nope.
So we end up fighting. We kill them both, but in this, Clementine's on the other side, and she pulls her gun out, but she hesitates and doesn't pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk to her about fear. That fear was what got her to not be able to shoot the gun, that she was, like, capable, it was okay, but you let fear control you. And you don't want to do, like, you don't want your fear to be the boss. You want to be the boss of your fear,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And that, you're capable, you can do this. I believe in you. It's okay,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Which was good. I thought it was like a proper conversation with Clementine.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't hard on her or anything like that, but kind of reassured her that you've got it next time and
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Then we grab the blowtorch that was inside there, and we go back to the bridge. Us and Omid use the blowtorch to remove the tanker from the hitch, and it drops down next to the train tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So then our group is all in the train, and they started up because a herd of walkers is coming down the tracks towards us.
Yep.
So the train starts, and we've got to just get on the train ASAP. So we jump off of the bridge to do it. Onto the train,
Mm-hmm.
and we do it. We make it on fine, but Omid kind of misses.
Yeah, he sucks.
And hurts his leg.
Yep.
And so then Krista jumps off the train to get Omid, and they're both running back towards the track.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our last decision in the game, which is not as obvious. It's not an obvious decision,
Mm-hmm.
but is who you help onto the train as it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I helped Krista, but I didn't really mean to necessarily. Yeah. I just grabbed who was closest.
Mm-hmm. That's the same thing I did.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I didn't really care who I helped, necessarily. I guess Omid was kind of hurt, so probably better to help him, but he was farther back, so... Like, right. I thought I could, help both. Get Krista, then get Omid.
That's what I thought, too. So the question ends up being, did you help Omid? So 60% of people helped him, and then 40% of people did not, so they helped Krista, or I guess maybe did nothing?
Yeah.
I don't know, because...
What that would even look like, yeah.
Yeah, if you just, like, stand and don't click for either of them, I guess.
Yeah.
But I thought I would just be able to grab both of them, so I just grabbed who was there.
Mm-hmm.
So... This one feels sort of like an unfortunate decision because you didn't really know you were making it.
Yeah.
But so what happens for us, though, is we help Krista, and she's like, what the hell? You didn't help Omid. He's hurt.
Yep.
But
pretty salty.
Yeah, but I think if you help Omid, then he's mad that you didn't help Krista. So I think that each one is mad that they got helped, and you didn't help the other one.
Yeah. So either way, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it seems sort of similar. One relationship is strengthened, and one is not, but it's weird because it's the reverse ones you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah. They're both alive, so.
Yeah, they're both alive. You're on the train. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya on Twitter, they said that, yes, they helped Omid.
Chris on Twitter says, yes, they helped Omid as well.
And then PS on Twitter said, no, I helped Krista. I thought I'd get brownie points for being chivalrous, but they were annoyed that I didn't help Omid.
Yep.
So
just like us.
yeah, like us. So I think that I feel like that one's kind of a goofy decision.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
whatever. After this, we head up to the front of the train, and we're talking with Kenny about our plan. Like, all right, what are we going to do when we get to Savannah? Come up with that. And Clementine's backpack is up there. There's a drawing we see of Kenny's family, which was nice.
Yeah. Clementine.
And happier times that Clementine did. But then Clementine's walkie goes off that she's been having with her this whole time, and there's a man that talks on, and he says, "Yeah, Clementine, I've got your parents. You've got to get them. You've got to come to this place. Come even if you can't get Lee to go, but get Lee to come." And that kind of thing. And we're like, what in the fuck?
Yeah, how the fuck does anyone know about Lee or Clementine in Georgia? Like,
yeah,
what?
How is this a thing? And you need to get here even if Lee won't come. And us and Kenny are both like, what the hell? This walkie-talkie works?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen Clementine like talk on it here and there, but we thought she was just kind of playing.
Yeah.
But evidently she's talking to some random fucking dude.
Yeah. Super weird.
Yeah, creepy, weird. I already want to fight the guy who's on this mic. Like, I'm like,
murder him.
Yeah, you're talking to a little girl. Like, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, you're gonna be a walker.
Yeah, yeah. Right, no, yeah. You would be our example where we'd break this. I would totally leave you as a walker. Like, if you're as creepy as it feels right now.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a walker.
Yep. Fuck you.
Sorry, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. So, episode ends.
Crazy cliffhanger.
Crazy cliffhanger. Pretty unexpected to something like that. You know, you've been dealing with meeting bandits or shit like that, or having to find new homes, and then it's what?
Yeah, this weird, creepy guy.
Yeah, weird, creepy guy's talking to Clem.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Clementine isn't. She's not there. She's asleep.
Yeah, I think she's sleeping in the back.
Okay, yeah.
Somewhere in a different.
Yeah, so she doesn't know that we heard this.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty crazy. I guess heading to general thoughts we have on the game. My first one is I think the shootouts in this game kind of suck. And there should probably be an auto aim at this point. It made me remember having a couple difficulties in the final season. The final season shootouts were better. Like
I feel like they got better as the game went on.
The Telltale tool got better for sure. Like they developed it, but this one's pretty rough. It's like being in snipe mode, but with like a kind of. The only good thing is that if you're kind of close, it usually does hit where you need it to. But like, it's not that good. So in the beginning, fighting the bandits, I did die a couple times, and actually fighting the walker with Clem in there too. I did die a little bit. In the store, and it's the bad kind of dying for. I feel like shooting like Telltale games aren't shooting games. They don't aspire to be that. It's fine, but I feel like that's why it should have the auto aim, is because it's not like being bad at BioShock or like Call of Duty where you get shot and you're like, oh, I've just got to figure out how to do this right. It's like instead it's just sort of shitty. And these games aren't really built around that, so I feel like it should just be you press A, and that's it. Like you don't have to aim it or anything like that. Like, wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay even if you had to aim, but then as soon as the cursor thing went red, you could shoot him and kill him.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like it'd be red and I wouldn't kill him. It hit them like what looked like a headshot, but it was a shoulder shot. It's like, what the fuck? So yeah, I think some refactoring of the aiming shooting system would be good, which I think they did going forward. So
yeah, I think it did get better, but I was just surprised. The first two episodes it hasn't been really that dealt with. And this one I was like, this one you had to shoot a lot, and I was like, man, this kind of sucks. Like
it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it should be for. And it sort of takes you out of the game because it's not it doesn't really matter. Like you just have to kill the 3 bandits and then you move on to the next sequence. But if you get like trapped in the sequence, it's a little annoying.
Yeah, kind of. It almost does the thing it's trying to not do. Well, that was stupid, but basically, like I think it tries to create intensity, but it can really kill the intensity because you're just like, fuck this. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So not a fan of that.
I guess I've two thoughts are kind of combined, but this has to be one of the saddest episodes of the Walking Dead game, like of all time. I mean, there's so many people that die, so many difficult conversations. It's nuts. And along with that, too, I totally forgot about, like, because we played this 5 years ago, like, most of this episode.
Yeah.
Forgot about Duck, forgot about Katja, forgot about talking to Clementine, forgot about, like, the walkie-talkie guy. Like, Jesus, there's so much here in this episode. It's nuts.
Yeah, it really is. I was really surprised that it's really up the ante each episode, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when we played the first episode last month or whatever, I was like, okay, this is good. And then the next one I was like, man, this is intense.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one's like,
yep.
keeps turning it up. Like,
Yep, keep raising the heat.
Ready to feel sad?
Yeah.
Like, we got it. Like, which, oh man, like, I'm really, really impressed with this. Like, I just have... This is like I feel like Telltale working perfectly. Like, when these games are good and they're landing, it's something like this episode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. And yeah, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more and maybe at the last episode. But like, this is probably my favorite Walking Dead game.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll make that claim after the next two because I don't remember what happens.
Yeah.
But this,
that'd be interesting.
Right now, it feels like the best one. We should rank them at some point.
No, we should, because I know after we played the final season, we ranked them.
Yeah, but it's different now.
But because it's more current, I wonder if our rankings change. Cause,
it's been, 5 years since?
Yeah, because I'm kind of thinking I might have put final season as my number one, and I think you had season 1 as your one.
Yeah.
In that one, when we ranked them at the end. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if
it flipped now for you.
Yeah, if it would flip. Like, I wonder if I would have this as number one.
It's so good.
Because it's so good.
Yeah, just the episodes are just they're shorter, I think, than like
the later season
more current games. But like it feels like they pack so much in. Like, there's never a point where I'm like, okay, it's safe now.
Yeah,
it's just always, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's just nuts.
Yeah, it doesn't feel safe ever. That's true. It feels like something bad can happen all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
and especially in this episode, it really did.
Yep. Every turn, there's someone's dead, or like someone's really sad about something being dead.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right.
Yeah, and having to do those conversations.
Oh man, those suck.
Yeah, I think that's something I've liked a little more in this one too. Is I've done a better job of talking to everyone. Mm-hmm. Like, when we were at the hotel, I tried to talk to everyone basically every time there was a sequence where I could. Mm-hmm. Which I don't remember if we did that or not the first time, but I can go really back and forth on that in games. Like, I know when I played other Telltale games or Life is Strange or things like that, like, I didn't always talk to everyone all the time. Like, other times I will do that. Like, I mean, I've had like games where I've done every side quest and I talk to everyone, but like, I don't always do that. It goes kind of back and forth. But this one, I've really tried to take my time talking to everyone, and I think that's upped the impact.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like, the closer you get to the characters that are sad or die,
right?
It makes sense. I haven't talked to. I think I talked to most people that first sequence. Like, the first motel sequence you get when you get back there.
Yeah.
But I don't think I really have after that. I think I talked to, like, Clementine and Kenny about my past, and Lily, because you have to, and Carly, because you have to. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think I've been pretty selective. Partly because I kind of know what happens.
Sure.
But two, because I really want to get to the next part of the story, because I'm like, fuck, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So some of it's kind of... if the story's too good, it can kind of force me to not want to talk to them, because, like, I don't care about you. Let's just keep going.
Right. What's the big stuff?
Mm-hmm. So it's a fine line, I think.
Yeah. No. That makes sense. Yeah, I think that probably covers our thoughts. Great episode. Mm-hmm. I'm super excited for episode 4 and 5. Like, I feel like this has really proved to be a very fun game to get back into. Just with all that time passed and just re-getting, like, I mean, I feel like this game alone is like how Telltale got to be a business for 10 more years or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
seriously, unfortunately not.
Yeah,
not longer than that, but
like, or whatever. Like, it landed. Like, this game was just it has it so much, and I'm excited to see what 4 and 5 bring and those details fleshing out and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's nuts that, like, a game that's, I don't know, 7 years old now, 6 years old now at this point, that we've already played is still so engaging. That's crazy. Yeah, that it keeps that. It's great. Awesome stuff. I guess that probably covers the episode. If you guys didn't see post, I got to go on Game Till 5, and we talked about top 5
introduction games to like introduce new gamers to. We actually also talked about Walking Dead on there, so one of our suggestions will be something you like if you've made it this far. But definitely go check that out. Their podcast is at GameTill5, and or their Twitter is that. But if you look up GameTill5 anywhere you got, or go on our Twitter, you can see that. But also, if you'd like to rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, that would be super helpful. Just increasing visibility for our show, or share it with your friends or whatever. If you'd like to financially support our show, you can do that on patreon.com/TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed. There, if you donate $1 or a month or more, there's a Patreon exclusive episode that we release each month. Last month, we talked about adaptations we'd like to see. So video games we'd like to see turned into like a movie or a TV show or that sort of thing, which was a lot of fun. So that one's up there already, and when we put up this month's one, we'll let you know. But yeah, as a cool thing. So if you'd like to do that, we'd appreciate that. And you can also contact us at TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed@gmail.com. Our website is TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed.com. And you can talk to us on Twitter at StoryEverPod. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with episode 4.
Yep. See ya.